Most men breathe just enough to survive. Their breath skims the surface of their chest. It rushes in during stress. It disappears during fear. It barely touches their core. But the man who learns to breathe deeply, not just into his lungs but into his entire body, begins to unlock a different kind of power, a calm kind, a grounded kind, a kind of energy that doesn't explode, it builds. In the teachings of Taoist energy work, the breath is not just oxygen. It is the bridge between your mind, your body, and your deeper source of vitality. When you inhale slowly through your nose and allow the air to descend like a wave into your belly, you are not just calming yourself. You are nourishing your energy system. You are practicing command over your inner state. This kind of breathing is not dramatic. It is not theatrical. It is consistent. And that's why it's powerful. Because it trains your body to feel safe, even in moments where other men would lose control. Breathe like this daily, not for show, but to return to your body, to gather your attention back from the chaos of the world, to begin building a system of power quietly. Every time you react without awareness, you leak energy. Every time you lash out, rush forward, or lose your center, your body drains power like a punctured vessel. You may not feel it immediately, but by nightfall, your exhaustion will speak for you. This is not just physical tiredness, it's energetic depletion. Most men are trained to act fast, to conquer quickly, to push without pause. But Taoist wisdom teaches a different rhythm, one of conservation, of precision, of mastery over impulse. Imagine how much more you could hold inside you if you weren't constantly pouring it out. Imagine how your presence would change if your energy wasn't always scattering. This doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you begin witnessing. You begin redirecting that heat inward, not to suppress, but to forge strength. This is the first step to becoming a man of deep reserves. Not someone who burns bright and fast, but someone who builds quiet power that lasts. You've been breathing since the moment you were born. But have you ever truly felt your breath? Not just its presence, but its power. In Taoist practice, breath is more than oxygen. It is your direct line to awareness, your anchor to the present, your fuel for transformation. Every shallow breath is a life lived on the surface. Every deep breath is a descent into yourself. When your breath is fast, you are scattered. When it is slow, you become grounded. When it is deep, you open. The breath teaches you to move energy, gently, purposefully, with reverence. It reveals how much you've been ignoring your own body. You do not need to conquer the breath. You need only follow it, return to it, respect it. It is the first tool, the oldest discipline, the gateway to all inner practice. The modern world will try to convince you that your growth must begin with something external, a new technique, a new course, a new image. But the ancient path doesn't begin outside you. It begins in the stillness of your own attention. The Tao isn't something you acquire. It's something you uncover by clearing the clutter. You are not missing anything. You are simply not facing everything. When you turn inward with discipline and with softness and with deep curiosity, you begin to see what was always there. Power, presence, and the quiet strength of being fully here. No teacher can give you the path. They can only remind you that the path lives in you. And once you begin, your body will know, it will remember, and it will open. Before your mind even understands, your breath already knows. It flows in, it flows out, without force, without noise. When you let your breath lead, you drop into the body's wisdom. not the kind found in books, but the kind felt through the ribs, beneath the sternum, behind the navel. Your breath is not just air. It is rhythm. It is energy. It is the messenger of presence. The modern world will have you believe you must gain energy, like it's something outside of you. But the Taoist path teaches something simpler. You already have enough. What you lack is not energy, but flow. And flow comes not from hustle, but from clearing, from unblocking, from listening. You don't need to chase power. You need to stop leaking it. All transformation begins with awareness. Without it, you are moving blind. Awareness is not just noticing your breath. It's noticing your reactions, your judgments, your habits. To live this path, you must be honest with yourself, and then even more honest. Because power without awareness is destruction, and awareness without discipline is noise. But when the two meet, you awaken something sacred. Your body isn't a black box. It's not something mystical or unknowable. In Taoist practice, your energy system is clear. It has structure. It has channels. It has logic. You are a flowing current, not a chaotic storm. Through practice, you learn to feel where the current moves freely and where it stops. And slowly, gently, you begin to clear the blocks. And when you do, the strength that rises is unmistakable. Many men think stillness means stagnation, but stillness is not the end of movement. It's the beginning of awareness. Stillness is where you notice, where you hear what's been drowned out by noise. In stillness, the breath becomes a guide, the heart softens its grip, and the body reveals its rhythm. Stillness is not silence. It's a different kind of music, one only the devoted man learns to hear. This isn't theory. This is something you feel. Your center of gravity isn't in your head. It's not even in your chest. It's lower. Right behind the navel, deep in the belly, there lies your anchor. When you bring awareness there, your thoughts calm, your body grounds, your energy pools. Every great tradition knew this. Now it's your turn to remember. Energy follows awareness. This is not philosophy. It's a fact. Where you bring attention, you bring life. When you constantly focus on fear, you strengthen fear. When you bring focus to your breath deepens. Bring your awareness to your body, and you begin to reclaim it. This is not about trying harder. It's about noticing better. In your shoulders, in your stomach, in your jaw. Every man has his own holding pattern, a place where life gets stuck. But tension is not the enemy, it's a message. It's the body's way of saying, something here has been left unattended. Your work is to listen, not fix, not fight, just listen. And when you do, you unlock something ancient. In a world that rewards speed, this practice teaches slowness. Not because slow is weak, but because slow is aware. Every breath has a depth you've missed. Every step has meaning. Every touch can carry presence. You don't need to rush your power. You need to feel it. And you can't feel what you race past. This path doesn't begin with fixing. It begins with noticing. You are not damaged. You are not weak. You are not missing anything. You are blocked, and blocks can be cleared. The moment you stop labeling yourself, you begin to free yourself. This practice isn't about becoming someone else. It's about returning to who you already are. The most dangerous man in the room is never the one moving the fastest. It's the one who moves with full awareness, deliberate, rooted. You don't need to prove your strength. You need to inhabit it. Power that lasts isn't noisy. It's quiet, it's calm, it's earned. You're not a battery. You don't just run out and need recharging. You're a river, and when the flow is blocked, you feel tired, not because you're empty, but because you're stagnant. Movement clears that. Stillness clears that. Breath clears that. When you understand flow, you stop panicking about depletion. There is no replacement for the grounding power of your feet on the earth. The world pulls you upward, into your head, into noise, into tension. But your balance, your strength, comes from below. Touch the floor. Feel your heels. Kneel. Walk slow. Your feet are the antennae of your nervous system. Let them remember where you are. You've had a teacher with you this whole time. You just didn't know it. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It doesn't leave. It's your breath. It's always been your breath. Fast breath, fear, shallow breath. Disconnection. Deep, steady breath, presence. The more you trust it, the more it shows you. In this path, your attention becomes your weapon, your shield, your compass. It carves your path forward. It holds others safe. It tells the truth about what you care about. When you master attention, you master your direction. And in that, you become unshakable. Stillness is not the absence of effort. It's the discipline to stop when the world says run. Your energy builds when you hold your center in the middle of pressure, when you don't flinch, when you don't flee. Men aren't made by motion. They're revealed by what they can hold. This stillness, this is strength. It's the center of gravity in your body and the origin of calm in your life. The ancient Taoists called it the sea of energy, and they were right. When your awareness drops into your lower belly, you stop spiraling in your head. Power doesn't live in your mind. It lives in your gut. They don't chase conflict. They don't rush their words. They don't lose their center over small things. Why? Because their nervous system is trained. Their breath is slow. And when your breath is slow, your life becomes steady. You become rare, and you become needed. Your energy flows when you stop wrestling your emotions. Not every feeling needs to be solved. Not every storm needs to be escaped. Breathe into it, feel it move, let it pass. That's where your freedom lives, not in resistance, but in honesty. You're not here to impress anyone, not your father, not your friends, not your past self. This is the path of practice, a path of return, a path of renewal. You don't have to do it right, you have to keep doing it. And every step you take, you get stronger. You are where your attention is. If your thoughts are scattered, your energy is too. Bring your awareness back into your body, into your breath, into the present moment. This is where your power begins, not in what you know, but in what you feel right now. You are not bound by old stories, not by what happened, not by what hurt. Energy doesn't live in memory, it lives in movement. You can reclaim it, not by erasing your past, but by no longer leaking your power into it. Real power doesn't bark, it doesn't push, it doesn't need to prove. There is a form of gentleness that comes only from true energy control. You don't need to raise your voice, you need only raise your presence. Tight jaws, locked shoulders, clenched fists. These are signs your energy is stuck. Let go. Let the exhale soften you. Let your body open. Only what's open can flow. Only what flows can grow. This isn't just muscle and bone, it's circuitry, it's signal, it's power waiting to be conducted. Breathe, move, still yourself, and listen. You'll hear it, the pulse of life that's been there all along. Stillness is not the absence of energy, it's the mastery of it. In stillness, the noise drops away. In stillness, what matters begins to rise. Let yourself slow down. Let yourself listen. Stillness sharpens your edge. A man is not powerful because he reacts, but because he chooses. You may feel heat. You may feel hunger, but you are not ruled by it. You are the one who breathes, and in that breath, you reclaim command. There is a center behind your navel, a quiet generator of strength. Focus there, not in your head, not in your chest, but low and steady. When you breathe from this center, you'll feel grounded in a way your mind alone could never give you. The spine is not just structure, it's a river, a highway for your life force. Sit tall, align. Let energy rise from base to crown. When the spine is clear, so is your focus, so is your strength. Presence isn't just eye contact, it's not just posture, it's not just tone. It's the energy that fills a room before you say a single word. True presence is felt, not seen, and you build it by living in your body. Fast breath is scattered energy. Slow breath is gathered strength. Every slow inhale pulls your awareness inward. Every steady exhale releases what you don't need. This is how you collect yourself. This is how you arrive fully. Where you place your attention, you invest your power. Every thought you feed grows stronger. Every sensation you notice becomes louder. Choose carefully. Guide your focus. Let your attention build what matters. Letting go doesn't mean weakness. It means trust. You don't force the river, you align with it. You don't chase the wind, you breathe with it. There's strength in surrender, when it's rooted in awareness. You are not stuck with raw, untrained energy. You can refine it, shape it. Like fire in a forge, you temper your reactions. Like water in your hands, you shape your energy. Refinement takes patience, but it gives you back control. Inner silence is not about quiet surroundings. It's about still presence, within noise. It's a muscle. It strengthens with practice. Start by pausing before you act. Start by breathing before you speak. Over time, your silence will speak louder than any outburst ever could. Calmness isn't the absence of challenge. It's what you build beneath the surface. A calm man isn't calm by accident. He's calm because he trained his breath, because he met his own chaos. The strength you show others starts with what you stabilize inside. There's a natural current in every part of your body. When you slow down, you can feel it. When you train, you can direct it. Your body isn't separate from your energy. It's the vessel that channels it. Flow is felt. Flow is trained. Flow is chosen. Joy can be a practice, not just a reaction. When you treat your energy with care, when you train without harshness, your vitality returns joyfully. You don't have to suffer to grow. You can strengthen through joy too. Stillness isn't passivity. Stillness is command. When you can stand without flinching, when you can hold your awareness, you hold power. Most men leak. This is not stillness of weakness. This is stillness of presence, stillness of strength. There is fire in you, but it does not need to scorch. When you learn how to hold it, when you learn how to direct it, you no longer fear your own intensity. Your fire becomes your tool, not your enemy. Letting go does not mean becoming weak. It means you stop clenching what drains you. You don't need to fight everything to be strong. You just need to stop fighting yourself. The power you seek is under the tension you've held too long. Release, and it returns. Your energy is alive. It reacts to how you think. When you believe you are scattered, your energy scatters. When you believe you are grounded, your energy listens. Train your body, train your attention, train your energy. Growth is not a one-time act. It's repetition with awareness. The man who trains his breath every day is not the same man at the end of the year. Discipline is how you build your power slowly, quietly, without force. Energy work is not a performance, it is a path. If you only train for results, you miss the point. Train because your body is worth tending. Train because your energy is worth listening to. The results come later. The transformation begins now. Energy isn't something you do. It's how you live. Every breath is a training. Every meal is fuel. Every step is part of the current. Don't compartmentalize your energy practice. Live it. This power, this balance, this stillness, it's not something foreign. It's your nature. You weren't built to burn out. You were built to flow. You weren't meant to chase chaos. You were meant to carry structure. Come back to your body. Come back to your breath. Come back to the man you were always becoming. Your mind might deny your exhaustion. Your words might mask your need. But your body never lies. It speaks through tightness, through fatigue, through silence. Energy practice is listening. Listening until you hear what you've ignored. In a world addicted to speed, slowness is resistance. Slowness is strength. The man who moves slowly is aware. He is not behind. He is present. Every slow breath is a return to clarity. Every slow step is a claim of control. You don't need to force your energy. You need to respect it. It knows how to heal, how to realign, how to build. You are not pushing energy. You are making space for it to rise. Your body is sacred. Your energy is sacred. Your breath is sacred. No one ever needed to give you permission. You were born with access to power. This isn't mysticism. This is structure. This is mastery. This is what it means to return to yourself. You've always been close, even when it felt far, even when the noise was too loud. You've never lost the path. You just stepped away from it. And now, you've returned, not to something new, but to something ancient, something already yours. The power was never outside you. It was waiting for you to stop searching and start remembering. You were never meant to feel powerless in your own body, or confused by your own energy, or ashamed of the strength within you. You were meant to feel steady, calm, capable of containing the storm without becoming it. That energy inside you, the one that surges and swells, it's not something to silence, it's something to master. And that mastery begins now, right here, in you. Your body speaks a language older than words. Every pulse, every breath, every tension, it's a message. But most men were never taught how to listen. We were told to push harder, to numb the signals, to ignore the quiet truths. And so we disconnect. from our energy, from our wisdom, from ourselves. But today, you begin again. Not with noise, not with pressure, but with presence. Energy flows where attention goes, and most of your life, that attention has been hijacked by chaos, by cravings, by the loud demands of the world around you. But what happens when you take it back? When you reclaim your attention and direct it inward? You become the one who shapes your life, not the one who is shaped by it. There is a strength in stillness, not the kind that flexes, but the kind that listens. The kind that notices the subtle hum beneath the surface, that feels energy instead of forcing it, that chooses calm even when the world demands chaos. That stillness is a skill, a practice, a power. And you're cultivating it now, with every breath, with every moment. So much of your energy has been scattered, chased, spilled. But the energy that builds you, that strengthens you, is not found in the chase. It's found in the pause, in the choice, in the conservation. Every time you choose to center instead of scatter, you're becoming a man who holds power, instead of one who gives it away. You were told your energy is a burden, something to hide, something to manage with shame. But that was never true. Your energy is not the problem. The lack of understanding around it is. You don't need to fear your intensity. You need to learn to shape it, channel it, live with it without losing yourself to it. And that's what you're learning here. There is nothing weak about tenderness. There is nothing soft about choosing clarity. There is nothing passive about peace. In fact, these are the marks of true power. Power that isn't loud. Power that doesn't need to prove. Power that listens, that grounds, that builds. That's the kind of man you're becoming, not by accident, but through intention. The world told you to suppress, to stuff your emotions, to flatten your spirit. But you are not a machine. You are a current, a rhythm, a breathing vessel of energy. Suppressing it only makes it unstable. Understanding it makes it powerful. You're not here to silence what's inside you. You're here to hear it and lead from it. Somewhere along the way, you learn to disconnect, to armor up, to exit your body. But your body never left you. It kept whispering, waiting, offering you the way back. That reconnection begins with respect, not control, not punishment, but respect. And from that respect comes a kind of strength you've never known. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to perform worthiness. You don't need to chase perfection. What you need is to remember yourself. Not the version the world shaped, but the version rooted in stillness, clarity, and power. You're not here to be fixed. You're here to return. Every day you wake up, you have a choice, to drift or to direct, to react or to respond, to avoid yourself or to anchor in. The more you choose the anchor, the presence, the breath, the discipline, the more your life begins to build from strength. And that's exactly what you're doing. You were born with a current inside you, a rhythm, a knowing, a deep, energetic wisdom. But somewhere along the way, that current was ignored, replaced with noise, with pressure, with performance. Now you're choosing differently. You're choosing to move with that current again, to trust the intelligence of your own energy. This isn't about controlling the current. It's about flowing with it and learning to ride it with strength. Real transformation doesn't come from effort alone. It comes from alignment. From letting your actions, Flow from your energy, not from fear, not from insecurity. When your mind, your breath, and your energy move as one, you stop fighting yourself. And you begin building the man you were always meant to become. There is no shortcut to deep mastery. Only rhythm, only repetition, only respect. You show up, you listen, you adjust. And over time, the practices become part of you. You no longer chase results. You become the result. Your energy is sacred, not in a poetic sense, but in a real, practical, powerful sense. It fuels your focus. It shapes your clarity. It builds your body. And when you conserve it, cultivate it, and guide it, you change your entire reality. This is how a man creates from power, instead of chasing power. You don't need to compete with chaos. You don't need to overpower the storm. You only need to become grounded, clear, still. The man who can stay centered, while the world swirls around him, is already winning a deeper game. That's the kind of man you're choosing to become, every single day. There is power in presence, power in awareness, power in choosing to feel instead of flee. You've spent enough of your life trying to escape the signals of your own body. Now, you're returning. Not to judge those signals, but to learn from them. Because your body is not your enemy. It's your gateway. Discipline is not about force. It's about structure. It's not about beating yourself into success. It's about guiding your energy in the direction that serves you. Each breath you take with intention, each moment you pause instead of react, you're carving a new groove into your nervous system. That's the discipline that lasts. It's easy to feel powerful when everything is going your way. But real power reveals itself in discomfort, in uncertainty, in restraint. That's when your practices matter most. Not when you're calm, but when your world is shaking. And you choose in that moment to stay grounded. Every day you have a chance to reclaim your energy, not by doing more, but by doing differently. You slow down, you pay attention, you redirect your awareness inward. And from that place, you begin to reshape your outer world. From the inside out, from the root. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are awakening. You are learning. You are returning to your center. The man you want to become already exists inside you. You're just clearing the noise so you can hear him. And he is worth showing up for. You've been taught to use your energy up, to burn it, prove it, spend it. But mastery doesn't come from depletion. It comes from conservation, circulation, presence. You don't need to give your energy away to feel valuable. You only need to learn how to direct it. When a man learns to feel, he learns to lead. Because a man who is numb is a man who reacts, but a man who is attuned can respond. Power isn't just force. It's awareness. It's precision. It's knowing what's needed before the world demands it. Your breath is a bridge between the body and the mind, between tension and flow. Each inhale can root you. Each exhale can clear you. There's nothing soft about that. It's not passive and it's not weak. It's the kind of strength most men never even discover. Energy that is scattered creates confusion. Energy that is focused creates transformation. The discipline of energy is the foundation of creation. You want to build a better body, a better mind, a better life? It starts with where your energy goes and where it stays. Stillness is not a retreat. It's not an escape. It's a recalibration. When you enter stillness, you begin to hear again. You begin to feel again. And from that depth, you begin to move with clarity instead of chaos. Most of your life, you've been taught to seek outward, success, status, stimulation, but none of that will ground you. What you're really after is presence, is depth, is mastery over your own system. And that begins inside. Your body knows how to hold power. You just forgot how to let it. When you tighten, you block the flow. When you chase, you leak energy. But when you breathe and center and trust, you begin to feel the power return. And it stays. A man who knows his energy knows his direction. Because when your system is aligned, your decisions become clean. Your focus sharpens. Your path clears. You're not just reacting. You're leading. That's the power of cultivating from within. This work isn't glamorous, and it's not loud, and it's not fast. It's slow, consistent, steady. But the results, they are unmistakable. Because the man who masters his energy is the man who cannot be shaken. Every practice is a signal dash to your body, your nervous system, your spirit. A signal that says, I'm safe, I'm grounded, I'm ready. And when your body hears that often enough, it starts to believe it. And when it believes it, your entire life begins to change. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about returning to who you were before the noise. Before the world taught you to disconnect. Before you learned to numb. Before you were told power came from pressure. It never did. It comes from presence. Control doesn't mean clenching or gripping or forcing. True control is spacious. It's relaxed. It's aware. It's the quiet decision to stay with your breath, no matter what the world throws at you. Most men try to chase peace through performance. But peace doesn't come from proving anything. It comes from building a life that no longer asks you to abandon yourself. When your nervous system is calm, your vision gets sharper, your thoughts get clearer, your voice becomes deeper. This is the biology of leadership. And it starts with how you breathe. Energy training isn't about hype. It's not some mystical escape. It's the most practical thing you can do because it shapes how you show up in relationships, in work, in crisis, and in stillness. It's the foundation of everything. The man who feels deeply is the man who responds wisely. He doesn't suppress. He doesn't erupt. He stays present with what's rising and channels it through a body that knows how to hold it. There's a rhythm to energy, a cadence. You're not supposed to always be on. You're meant to expand and contract, to charge and release, to rest and rise again. Mastery isn't being stuck in high gear. It's knowing when to shift. Stillness isn't emptiness. It's fullness without noise. It's the power of being in the room without needing to control it. That kind of presence doesn't just shift you, it shifts everyone around you. You've been carrying weight. That was never yours. Stories that told you you weren't enough, or too much, or broken. But your energy doesn't lie, and when you tune into it, you'll remember you were built for wholeness. Every breath you take is a return. to your body, to your awareness, to your core. And every time you return, you deepen, you align, you sharpen your edge. That is the path of mastery. The world moves fast, but that doesn't mean you have to. Slowness is a form of strength. It lets you feel. It lets you choose. It lets you lead. Any man can react, but it takes training to respond with power. A distracted man leaks energy. He's pulled in every direction, and at the end of the day, he wonders why he's exhausted. Focus isn't a mindset. It's an energy discipline, and it's built in silence, in breath, in repetition. Most men were never taught how to store energy, how to cultivate it, circulate it, and root it in the body. But when you learn, you stop relying on willpower and start living from power. You don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to push to move the world. You only need to align with the force that already lives inside you. When you do, your presence speaks louder than your words ever could. It's not about becoming perfect, it's about becoming present. Perfection disconnects you. Presence connects you, and in that connection, your energy becomes intelligence. Your nervous system is the foundation of your decisions, of your clarity, of your intimacy. Train it like you'd train your body, with care, with patience, with discipline. And you'll see the man you become will lead with power and peace. Stillness is not the end of energy, it's the refinement of it. When you sit in silence, you're not escaping, you're listening, you're aligning, you're sharpening. That stillness, it becomes your superpower. There's no finish line, there's only depth. Every practice takes you deeper. Every breath brings you closer. Every moment becomes a doorway. Back to your center. This isn't a sprint, it's a way of life. You're not chasing transformation, you're remembering it. This power has always been yours, this stillness, this depth, this clarity. And now, you've chosen to live from it. You've been taught to hold it in, to grit your teeth, to clench your jaw and carry on. You were told this was strength, that this was manhood, that power came from suppressing what moves within. But what if the real strength was never in the hiding? What if your true energy awakens not through silence, but through inner listening? Deep in your core, there is a current of life that never left you. It waits, not to be conquered, but to be honored. This is the turning point. This is the first breath of a new way of being. You are no longer holding it in. You are learning to hold it well. And from here, everything changes. There is a force in you more ancient than words, more patient than time, more powerful than any image of masculinity you were ever shown. This force doesn't scream. It hums, it pulses, it gathers. And when you learn to feel it, not fear it, you begin to understand what your body was always meant to be. Not a weapon, not a wall, but a vessel of presence, a channel for clarity. This is not performance. This is alignment. Most men burn through their energy as soon as it rises. They've never been taught how to hold it, how to shape it, how to circulate it through every layer of themselves. But now you're here, and you're beginning to remember energy isn't something to chase. It's something to steward. Not with force, but with attention, not by gripping, but by breathing. This practice is not about denial, it's about transformation. And with every breath, you are becoming fluent in your own power. The body doesn't lie, It knows when you're tense, when you're distracted, when you're pretending. But it also knows when you finally come home. It softens when you're honest. It opens when you're ready. It guides you when you're listening. You are no longer at war with your own energy. You are making peace with it. And in that peace, your deepest vitality returns. You were never meant to be exhausted all the time. You were never meant to be drained. You were built to renew, to restore, to generate life from within. The path is not in adding more. It's in understanding what's already moving inside you. You've spent years running, from feeling, from stillness, from truth. But now, you are returning, and this return is power. There is an art to being full, not full of noise, not full of tension, but full of steady, centered energy. The kind that doesn't fade with age, the kind that deepens the more you live aligned. This is the quiet wealth of men who know themselves, the strength of presence, the clarity of awareness. You don't have to go fast anymore. You just have to go deep. And from that depth, you rise. You were not born numb. You were not born hardened. You learn to shut down, to armor up, to pretend you didn't feel. But the truth is, your sensitivity was never a weakness. It was a signal, a compass, a gift. Now you are learning to feel again. Not to collapse, but to awaken. And that awakening, it's the return of your original strength. Stillness is not passive. Stillness is power held with precision. When you are still, you can see, you can sense, you can choose. In a world that screams and races, your calm presence is radical. You don't need to fight to be seen. You don't need to push to be felt. You simply need to be, fully, deliberately. Your energy is not a fire to burn out. It is a current to circulate. When it rises, don't waste it. Don't drain it. Don't lose it in distraction. Bring it inward. Let it rise through your spine. Let it awaken your chest. Let it sharpen your mind. This is how men become radiant, not by chasing more, but by mastering what's already within. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is freedom with structure. Every time you choose to train, to breathe, to be present,